Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Here in this channel we talk about relaxed hair care, hair growth tips, protective styling, and so much more concerning the hair topic in general. So if you know you are interested in this type of content, then consider subscribing. So in today's video, as you guys could tell from the title, we're going to be talking about why so many black women don't have long hair. The truth is, in the black race, when you see someone with short hair, we see it as a norm, and when we see someone with long hair, we see it as the person is blessed, the person has good genes, this and that, and we always have the tendency of using genetics as an excuse when it comes to the black race. I hear a lot of people say it's not in our genes to have long hair. We guys see short hair as a norm in the black race, and when we see someone with long hair, we see it as a blessing, we see it as a rare occurrence, we see it as the person having good genes. And this is not true, guys, because studies have shown that when you compare our heads to the hair of the whites, we actually have similar hair in terms of hair growth phase, in terms of hair strength and all that. But so when it comes to hair in general, the same genes we have for hair, it's similar to those of the whites. So using genetics as an excuse, it's not permitted. Like I said in one of my previous videos, if you study the hair growth cycle for every individual, whether black or white, the normal growth phase is between 2 to 6 years. Some people's own may even be longer than this. Most research sources will say 4 to 7 years. So if we use the 4 to 7 years using the lowest phase, which is 4 years, you will still get a pretty good length of hair. Yes, I know genetics does play a role in the length of your hair, but it does not play that much role. For example, genetics can actually be the difference between having mid-back length and, for example, butt length, but it can never be the difference between someone having shoulder length and another person having butt length. Okay, our main problem in the black race is breakage, not genetics. So you may be wondering if our main problem is not genetic, so why is it that the whites have longer hair, even when I said our hair is the same in terms of genetics, in terms of strength, and in terms of growth phase and all that? The reason is simply the difference in the hair texture. The white race have straighter hair texture, while the black race have coily or kinky hair texture. This basically means that our hair needs extra care, our hair needs extra attention during manipulations and all that, because the more coily your hair is or the more kinky your hair is, the more tendency it has to get breakage, it has to get tangled and all that. Even you yourself, you notice that you get less breakage, for example, after a flat iron routine or when your hair is straightened out by other methods, compared with when your hair is in a coily or kinky state. This means that the difference is simply in a regimen. You cannot use the same regimen a white is using and expect to get the same results. Like I said, their hair is more easy to handle. For example, a white may decide to detangle her hair without patience in about 2 to 3 minutes, and they will actually come down with less breakage and damage compared to if you do that same thing, like detangling your hair for 2 minutes without patience on your hair, because our hair types is different. It's easier for them to detangle their hair, to manipulate their hair, and it's easier for them to just adopt a simple regimen compared to us blacks. So that's why you cannot implement their regimen or adopt their regimen and expect to have the same results with your hair. When it comes to our hair, we need extra care to make it flourish, because the truth is our hair is always growing. Like I said, our main problem is breakage. Another reason why they may have long hair compared to us black women is because since their hair is straighter, natural oils from their scalp flows through their hair strands easier compared to us that have coily kinky hair, because these natural oils can actually help reduce breakage, reduce damage and all that. So that is another reason why black women may have shorter hair when compared to the whites. So the problem here is not in our genetics, and that's why you see that even though a lot of black women may have short hair, there are still people that have long hair even though they are black. And these are people that just found out a regimen that worked for them without adopting other regimen. For example, when you watch so many YouTube videos, you see where some whites do their hair by washing their hair every week, conditioning their hair every week and all that. But for me personally, when I tried that, it didn't work on my hair because that was just too much manipulation and it didn't go well with my hair. So that's why I developed a regimen that worked for my hair and I actually saw results with it. Now, one thing you guys fail to realize is that so many of them wash their hair on a regular basis because their hair tends to get more greasy faster than us blacks. Like I said, it's easier for the natural oils from their scalp to travel down the strands of their hair. So over a few days, their hair is already oily and greasy. So it definitely needs a wash compared to us that our hair is more coily and kinky, where it won't be that easy for the natural oils to travel down the strands of our hair. Although you can stimulate and hasten this process, for example, doing scalp massages using the inversion method and all that. But generally speaking, natural oils travel down the hair strands faster in white when compared to black. So this is why they wash their hair on a more frequent basis and get away with it, because their hair actually needs a wash during that period. Their hair is already greasy and all that. So you adopting the same regimen for your hair when you know that your hair is dry, simply because you see it worked for a white lady, is not going to work for your hair. That's why I said it's always good to study your hair. It's always best to study your hair. I don't know how I can stress this enough, but let me repeat it again. You can't adopt the same regimen a white lady is using on her hair as a black and expect to see the same result, because even though our hair is similar in terms of genetics, in terms of hair strength, in terms of growth phase and all that, their hair type is different from ours in terms of type, because they have straighter hair compared to ours. So generally speaking, the more coily or the more kinky your hair is, the less you should manipulate it. Another thing when it comes to genetics in the hair length is, for example, the thickness of your hair strands. But this cuts across all races, whether black or white. Some people have thick hair strands. I'm not talking of hair density. So if you have thick hair strands, your hair will be less likely to break compared to someone that has thin hair strands. But like I said, this cuts across all races. So whether black or white, you can have thick hair strands and you can have thin hair strands, and it all boils down to manipulation. Because if you know you have thin hair strands, then you should lessen the manipulation on your hair. So basically, are black women's hair weaker than those of the whites? No guys, our main problem is breakage. Work on that and you will definitely see results.